Hello and welcome to the MILSET World Virtual Young Citizens Conferences 2020. We are in our fourth day of debates. The International Movement for Leisure Activities in Science and Technology, MILSET, presents this program to hear the concerns, proposals, and opinions of young people from all over the world regarding science and technology issues that affect humanity. Today, we will hear our young YCC ambassadors talking about science and medicine. We are sure their proposals will help to invent a new world and a better one. My name is Liz Vela. I'm MILSET Communication Manager. Thank you for watching this streaming. We will be streaming live on MILSET Facebook and MILSET YouTube channel. And well, I would like to thank our authorities for all the support in this program. MILSET Executive Committee, MILSET Honorary President, MILSET Regional Executive Committees, MILSET YCC Committee, MILSET members, and all the audience who have supported this amazing program. Now I will give the floor to Mr. Dries Loradi, MILSET Africa President. Our big hug to you, Mr. Dries, and the mic is yours.
Thanks, dear Liz. First, I would like, on behalf of MILSET, to welcome warmly our ambassadors and welcome to audience from all around the world. In MILSET, we help organizations to engage youth in science and technology because we believe that formal and informal education, scientific activities represent a powerful tool for understanding and transforming the world. Today, our debate session is focused on the role of science and medicine. One phase of journey of science is the huge amount of discoveries and innovations which were beneficial for the humankind. The life expectancy increased, diseases eradicated, agricultural production boosted, and the living and transport condition improved thanks to fossil energy resources. But the other genocide of scientific progress is the weapons and the serious and irreversible degradation of our planet. In MILSET, we believe that science must be at the service of the humanity, helping citizens to understand the big complexity of our natural and social environment in 21st century, surnamed Anthropocene era, and maybe soon surnamed the COVID-19 era. So much the health and economic and social damage are enormous. In MILSET, we believe that science must be help the humanity to achieve a better quality of life in sustainable and healthy environment. Science must be help the humanity to build a world of peace and brotherhood against all kinds of exclusion, extremism, and violence. Louis Pasteur, the discoverer of microbes, said to us, "Science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity and is the torch which eliminates the world." The scientific community vision of the world mentioned in the Constitution of UNESCO is unique and transcends nations and religions. You, the young people today, you, the generation of tomorrow, you have a huge challenge to take up. Put science and medicine at the service of sustainable development respectful of nature and human dignity. I'm sure that with your collective intelligence, you will invent this new world. Thank you for your listening. Dear Bere, the mic is yours.
Thanks so much, Dries, and welcome to all of you guys, and welcome to the audience that are watching this transmission. So now is the time to present our ambassadors for this debate session regarding the role of science and medicine. So please join to me to welcome our participant from South Africa. We received Lian. Sorry, I did. Yes. Also, we have people from Spain. Maitane Alonso Monasterio.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Correct. We received from Colombia, Nicole Andrea Barrero Arenas.
Hello, dear.
Also, we have people representing Romania. That is Leo Vlad Daniel.
Greetings.
And for sure, we had two good participants that unfortunately, due to problems and connections, like technical details, we can't be here with us, like explaining all your opinions. But for sure, we will check the possibility that they could participate tomorrow. One is Nur Shurafa, representing Palestine territories, and the other one is Hamad Asa Al-Marzuki, representing United Arab Emirates. So welcome all of you guys, and it's really amazing to see all of you and to be here, like inventing a new world. So, well, in this moment, I will just move so quickly in order to explain a little bit about the methodology that we will follow. As all of you ambassadors already know how we will run, but for the audience, in order that all of you that are watching this transmission understand perfectly what will happen. So this debate session will be divided in 3 sections. The first one is related on the concerns. We will be hearing 3 facts that our moderator, Ms. Liz Vela, will share with all of you in order to have more information about the topic. After that, we will have a section that is called discussion, where all of you will be able to express your opinions, your ideas regarding 3 key questions that also Liz will share with all of us, and start the discussion. You are free to participate only if Liz Vela name you in order to have turns. And the main point, also important, is that you are free to agree or disagree on the comments from your peers. So be prepared, and also listen very carefully the comments that the others are giving us. And well, in this moment, I give the mic to our moderator, Ms. Liz Vela, in order to start the debate session.
Thank you very much, Bere, and thank you guys for being here, our young YCC ambassadors. I'm very glad to moderate this debate session. And well, as Bere said, I will share in the first stage of our YCC program. I will share with you some facts regarding science and medicine that are currently affecting humanity and, well, improving it in some ways. So the first thing I would like to share with you is about mental health. According to mental health, one of the most significant public health measures implemented during COVID-19 pandemic has been extended periods of lockdown, where whole populations have been advised to remain in their households other than to collect necessary supplies, to care for others, or to exercise. a study from India during the COVID-19 pandemic, stress scores for post-traumatic stress disorder were reported by parents to be 4 times higher in children quarantined than those not quarantined. In this case, criteria for PTSD was met by 30% of quarantined children, and further studies continued in China find that young people report increased depressive symptoms and anxiety symptoms and can experience negative psychological consequences as a result of this lockdown. The second fact, based on World Economic Forum, mentions that the way that COVID-19 has resulted in a much more high-profile interrogation of science, society, and in some cases, policies that governments around the world have adopted to tackle the spread of the virus within their borders. Going forward, we need to be mindful that what science is understood to be and what it is used for can come down to something as simple as how it's communicated. One legacy of COVID-19 is that science is an organic part of decision-making, rather than just a tool that provides a solution when a specific challenge comes to light. Finally, according to the United Nations, the contribution of science, technology, and innovation in the face of COVID-19 crisis can be seen in several areas. First, in research and development to understand the diseases and its effects on the population, as well as for vaccines and medication. Second, in the management of critical supplies and equipment such as diagnostic tests, mechanical ventilators, and the development of applications for tracking and prevention. And third, in the economic recovery, with the development of digital platforms for health education and work at a distance, and also technological transfer and industrial reconversion. Well, these are some facts we are leaving on this topic. And well, now I will like to continue with the questions. I will really like to know your opinions about 3 key questions that will help us to invent a new world and live in a better one with these conditions. So I would like to start with the first question. And it says, do we have enough reliable information from scientists and doctors about the virus now? I would like to hear, Lian, could you give us your opinion about this?
I would say we have enough reliable information from the scientists, because if we just listen to them and their advice in the beginning, when in February, when it all started in the other countries, in social distancing and masks and how it spreads, they gave us all the information, we just didn't listen. So I will say we have enough info, we just, we need to listen to them.
Yeah, Lian, I think you are pretty right. Well, I would like to hear, Maitane, I would like to hear your opinion. I know you are studying to be a doctor, and well, what do you think about this question? And also, can you tell something about what Lian support her or against her opinion? Can you tell us, please?
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for your question. I would say that no, we definitely do not have enough information. And why is this? Well, on the first side, I would say that we don't have enough information about science and technology in general. So for the past years, science and technology it has stayed just for scientists. And I think that it's important to let the whole society know about it. So that's why these type of events are so important. because nowadays we have like so many information in our hands via social networks, the internet, that sometimes with the fake news and everything, people just don't get the right idea. So I think that it's important for scientists, for doctors to step up and just give the few important ideas that are truly important. Because in the beginning of the pandemic, for example, there were so many contradictions. So, for example, the use of masks. In the beginning, they said no, then they said yes, then they said no again, and then they say absolutely important. So I think that in order to communicate to the society, there should be, the scientists step in the front line instead of the politicians saying whatever is convenient for them.
Thank you very much for your opinion, Maitane. Well, we have like two different sides of different opinions here. I would like to hear Nicole, because we were talking before we started this debate, outside the debate, and she mentioned something very important about her country, about this fake news that Maitane is talking about. So, Nicole, could you give us your opinion and about what your peers have said, and the question, of course?
I am agree with my partners, but the science and doctors are dedicated to giving us information daily in the news about the virus, to keep us informed of the situation and to be able to prevent the continuous contagion that is taking place.
Okay, good, perfect. Thank you very much, Nicole. Yeah, I think you have a point there. Leo, can you give us your opinion about what Nicole, Lian, and Maitane are saying? I think they have similar points in some parts, and they don't agree in some others. But what's your opinion about it, and what are you living in your country now regarding this situation?
I would agree with Maitane, since I don't consider there's enough information on COVID to reach a conclusion on the treatments and the prevention measures that should be taken in order to reduce its toll on humanity. Ever since it first emerged at the end of 2019, I would say that thousands of superb scientists have been working to answer fundamental, vital, and unprecedented questions, like how fast does the virus spread if left unabated, how lethal is it, how many people have already had it, if so, are they immune? And for each of these questions, there are emerging answers, and we tend to share the consensus views. For example, without social distancing, COVID-19 would be a cataclysmic problem, and millions would die. But at the same time, I don't consider that there's a definitive answer on each of those questions, since academics must be able to express a broader range of interpretations and opinions. For example, some experts argue that the fatality rate would be closer to 0.2 or 0.3% when we look back at this from a distance, while others believe that it's closer to 1%.
Thank you very much for this information, Lou. Well, according to what I'm listening and what you're speaking about this question, I would like to give you an open question. It's from this information we gather. You can answer, and any of you can take the mic to answer. Do you think as society we're prepared for, we're prepared to receive all this scientific information and manage if it's true or not, if it's fake news or not fake news? Are we ready, or what should we do as society to disseminate if it's okay or not to receive this information? Someone can want to answer this, Maitane?
So, well, I would say that more than it being a matter of us being prepared or not, because no one was prepared for this pandemic when it started, it's a matter that it is in fact needed to have scientific facts and scientific education. So from my point of view, one of the key points of all of this is that science should start since we are children. So I've always thought that all of us have like a small researcher inside us. So we're always asking why everything happens when we are little children, trying to innovate, trying to create a better world between all of us. But something's happening that as we grow older and older, we are losing this curiosity. And I think that it's important to maintain it, this critical spirit, so that when we read something, we like think about it, if it's right, if it's not. And I also think that it's important, as I said before, to make science available for everyone, because as we were previously saying, science does not have an age, gender, race. So it's for everyone and it should be transmitted to everyone. So yeah, I definitely think that it's important that science reaches society in order, because, well, research is the way to build a better future for all of us. So.
Thank you, dear, for your answer. Yes, I totally agree with you. And well, yeah, we need also what I was saying in the facts. We need to learn how to communicate, or older people who are working on this research need to learn how to communicate efficiently to kids, which are the future of our world. Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much, guys. I will move to the second question. Will governments and societies treat scientists with the same respect and listen to their advice equally, attentively after the pandemics? It's kind of connected to what we were saying, but do you think, well, this is possible? Luke, can you please mention something about this?
Well, I would say that the greatest issue regarding scientists comes with society. To be clear, society has no obligation to take every scientist's idea seriously, and misinformation about COVID-19 is abundant, from snake oil cures to conspiracy theories about the origin of SARS-CoV-2. And the internet is awash with baseless, often harmful ideas that I personally denounce. Some ideas and people can and should be dismissed.
Thank you very much, dear Lu. Leanne, would you like to comment about this, what Lu has said and the question, please?
I think after everything that happened with people that died from COVID and got very sick, people will see that scientists have the knowledge to help us through these problems, and therefore we will create respect. They have created respect for themselves after we have seen what happens if we don't listen to them and if we don't follow the protocols that they gave us. So I feel that after this, there will be more respect. People will listen more to scientists than the politicians who decided that, okay, no, COVID's not that bad. You can go outside because of a political view they have or something.
Thank you, Leanne. Thank you very much. Of course, for sure, you're right. I would like to know the opinion of Nicole, because what Leanne said is something that Nicole is living in her country. So what's going on with the respect to scientists saying that we can't go out, but others, politicians, saying that yes? What are you living in your country, Nicole, and what do you think about this question?
Well, I think some people think the science have the intelligence to help us avoid problems and diseases that can affect our health. But even so, there will people who, as soon as the pandemic ends, will stop giving importance to what the science say. Depend of the people and the situation in our country is the issue affect a partner, a family? Can the people accept this? But the person no is affected for the pandemic, he don't important is the science say or no.
Yeah, so you mentioned that it's also a matter of what is your reality? What are you living inside your family, maybe, or your community? Yeah, because for some people, this situation is like nothing happens and they're surrounded. But yeah, it's what you meant with your comment. Thank you very much, Nicole. Thinking about this situation and what's happening only in our surroundings, do you think this could affect this understanding and respect to listen the scientists on what's going on and the measures we should take, Maitane?
Well, so I'm always quite a positive person, but I think that my answer would be I hope so. I truly hope that people learn from this experience, because we were talking previously about how when society forgets the past they have lived, they are going to repeat the history is going to be repeated over and over again. So I think that this is a lesson we should be learning. And from my point of view, it's a matter of responsibility. I think that many people are not living these situations in their family or, well, with the people close to them. And I think that even if you don't live it close by, you should be responsible enough in order to know what's happening in the world, know about this terrible situation, and put everything you have in order to stop it. So just because your family hasn't had any COVID cases doesn't mean that you can go and party, or just because lockdown is over doesn't mean you can go and party, because then we're going to have another lockdown. And lockdown, you talked before about mental health matters in children. And I think that one of the problems was not being able to go to schools, because schools are not just about education, about learning facts, about learning maths or learning English. Schools are also about communicating. It's also about having relationship with people. And I think that's truly important. And I truly hope that we don't lose, this sense of caring for other people, because if there is one way we're going to get out of this situation, is all of us together. So I think we're on the same boat, and it's no sense that people are trying to, throw the boat from the river or something.
Thank you very much for your opinion, Maitane. Yeah, you're right. It's a matter of caring about others. No, that's what we need to think. And new generations, I think here one of the points Maitane is raising, it's very important, and it's about caring about the others. I'm going to give a question, an open question. Please, Leanne, Nicole, Lou, Maitane, let me know if you want to answer it. And well, the question is, do you think the measures taken to control the pandemic have been enough? What do you think, Lou? Or, well, anyone who wants to raise a voice. Leanne, Lou?
I think that the measures they took in my country specific wasn't enough. It was they didn't do it correctly, because in the beginning they were, when it was here, they didn't know how it's going to get out of hand, because they just thought it's a flu because they were uneducated. But then after they saw how fast it's spreading and what effects it has on the people, then they started the lockdown, but it was too late, because there were so many people infected, and then you were just stuck in your house with people infected, or people you love were infected, but you can't visit them or say anything to them. So I will say that no, the measures were not enough, and it was not on time taken.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Well, we will run to the next and final questions before you think about your proposal. So finally, we were mentioning that science is a matter of communication, right? So what is the role of science to avoid future pandemics? Lou?
Well, inherently, science has a critical importance in most of the fields, if not all of the fields, including medicine and the prevention of pandemics. So I would say that science is essential to preventing future pandemics through researching the one second.
Yeah, no worries.
Through extensive research of the microbiological aspects of each and every disease, we could say, and the critical analysis of any possible viral outbreaks that could happen anywhere in the world.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Lou, for your opinion. What do you think about this, Maitane, about the question and what Lou is referring to?
Well, about the question, science, the future, communication, my answer would be another question. So what's the point of researching if we're going to put all that research in a drawer and not make a positive impact on our society? So the point of research is making a positive impact on our society. And I think that everyone has to play a role in that. So that's why I think that the new generations that are coming should have a role in communicating science, because it's not just for, as we said before, scientists and everything. And then I was just thinking about what Leon said earlier about, you know, the COVID measures and everything. And I think that the COVID measures were late. The COVID measures weren't enough. And we could say that it's a new situation. It's normal that they were late. No, it's not. We're living a historical situation of change, but we're living a global situation. We're connected with other countries. It's not just what happens in your town, but we should have, this say that act local, but think global. So we should think about the whole world and try to make even our smallest action count. So pandemics, I don't think we're going to avoid future pandemics. As we can see in history, it's a cycle of pandemic, so there will be new viruses, there will be new challenges. I think that the point is that science, research, technology, they are the key in order to solve all of these problems that we have now and the ones we will have in the future. And that's why I absolutely believe that all of us should, I think that the whole society should unite in order to make politicians open their eyes and take proper measures in order to, help scientists, researchers, and, literally between all of us, try to build a better and more sustainable future.
Thank you there. Nicole, I would like to know your opinion about this question.
Well, I think the only thing I can say is that they're beginning to prepare for future pandemics or diseases that may threaten people's lives. I'm not referring to a cure or something to avoid it, but to try to maintain public control and avoid the issues can origin the problems in the nature, because the weather or the
no worry, dear, take your time.
Yes, or the nature is I don't know, the nature is in problems, yes? The Cape of Sono, the oxygen, the animals, there's no help the situation. And I think all the people can help the nature for avoid these types of the issues and but no kill the issues and all is happy, all is good. No, it's not possible. But maybe treat the avoid some issues can I don't know.
It's okay, dear, don't worry. Yeah. So also facing the truth, right? Like be real on what's going on. Yeah. Thank you, dear Nicole. Thank you very much. Leanne.
I believe that the role of science in the future will be to detect the viruses and the pandemics early and to help us prevent things like this in outbreaks, like say what is because these things happen because people are uneducated of the food that they eat and what deforestation is causing to our earth. And if we can educate, if science can educate the people in what is happening and what is wrong with what they are doing now and can give us early detection, then that will be a greater future.
Yeah, thank you very much, Leanne. We have time for one more reflection here. I would like to know your opinion about some important issues that we're having here. So in the area of science and medicine, there have been very, very fast advances, but because of this breakdown of the pandemic. So we are talking about that in very few time, we had to develop more on predictive analytics, for example. We have to develop more of business intelligence, digital front floor, chatbots, robotics to give this response to patients in case of the medicine area. From all the this digital stuff that we have been using to enhance and give an answer and from what you know of the new advances due to this pandemic, which will be for you the most important one, and which area will be developed to give answer to people and a fast answer in these pandemics, which I don't know, maybe predictive analytics, engineering and technology. So what do you think? What do you think it will be like, or it's the biggest area advances in the area to give fast answer in this pandemic? Lou?
Well, I would say that engineering poses a key role in responding to any pandemic, since the development of new innovative technologies which could help alleviate symptoms and treat patients would prove to be the most beneficial as opposed to other fields such as, I don't know, industry, but actually industry would both would be quite useful when it comes to this question, since engineering and industries are closely related. One cannot function without the other, because engineers design the products and those in industry build them, we could say. But I would also argue that society faces a risk even more toxic and deadly than a pandemic itself. I would like to bring here that the politics, more exactly the conduct of science, which seems to become more and more indistinguishable from politics. And the tensions between the two policy poles of rapidly and systematically reopening society, as it's going on in the United States of America, versus maximizing sheltering in place and social isolation, as it's going on in Portugal, Romania, and so on. Must not be reduced to political parties take talking points, even as many media outlets promote such simplistic narratives. For example, in the United States, we have the Republicans and the Democrats with the conflicting ideas. And those critical decisions should be influenced by scientific insights, independent of political philosophies and party affiliations. They must be freely debated in the academic world without insult or malice to those with differing views. As always, it is essential to examine and disclose conflicts of interest and salient biases, but if none are apparently or clearly demonstrated, the temptation to speculate about malignant motivations must be resisted.
Thank you very much, Lou. Maitane, do you think, well, first, which is the improvement due to the pandemic, technological improvement that we are facing as the best to communicate and to help support people? And the second one is related to what Lou said. Do you think maintaining neutral on science outside politics and all that should be the best? What do you think, Maitane?
Well, so about the first question, I would like to share one of the first lessons I learned when I first started researching, and that is that different research areas take different times. But I don't think that there is something as researching just one area, because all of them are necessary. So let me explain. There is not a project, for example, just about biology, because it also uses technology. It also uses so many other areas. And I think that, for example, in this pandemic, while since the very beginning, there were so many, maybe more medical researchers trying to search for a vaccine, some other people doing basic research, there were so many advances in technology that made it possible that during these times, lives were saved. So I think that the most important thing is that even if each area takes its time to keep advanced, one of the most important things is that people know about that, because, well, I'm a medicine student, and I was really wanted to know about the vaccine research, right? And I kept listening all the time, people asking from the very first day, when will the vaccine come out? I mean, it's not like you can go to a lab and find the vaccine during a drawer. So these things take a process, yeah, if it's in the lab, if it's in more technological areas, but each of them is a process. So I think we should educate ourselves in that. And well, I also think that the way to go ahead is combining all of those areas. And regarding the second question, I would say that science is one of the most important things we have as a society. It's a tool we definitely should use. I mean, we're not going to be able to build a better future without this, so we better start giving it the importance it has. I think that one of the problems in politics is that when someone becomes a politician, they forget about their other areas, as it happens with this research. So even if before they used to be concerned about science and technology, they suddenly forget about it. So I think that it's important that even if they forget, because, well, all of us are humans and you may forget something, the politicians are not a figure that's just up there making, decisions just like that. It's someone you're choosing to represent you. So I think that we as a society should make politicians more involved with science. So yes, science should be neutral, because one of the definitions of science is that it's objective, it's just facts. But then politicians should definitely be involved in science, and scientists should be absolutely essential in decision making.
Great, dear. Thank you very much. Do you agree with Maitane, Lian?
Yes, I agree completely. I feel that when people, especially politicians, make decisions on a country, they have to have the scientific knowledge on what is happening, because not all of us have all the same knowledge on everything and knows everything about everything. If we educate ourselves and listen to other people and communicate with other countries, then our situation would have been a lot different in the one that we are currently of.
Thank you. Well, we're running out of time. Sorry, I took some 5 more minutes on this because I am amazed you listening to your opinions and what you think about your other peers. So we will take some minutes to let you think about this. The second, well, the next step of the methodology is to know about your proposals, yeah, to enhance or to have or live in a better world due to what we have discussed. So for the public, please give us some minutes. We will go out of the transmission a little bit. Don't go. Wait to listen what our YCC ambassador have to say. And for our dear ambassadors, we will let them think and find out their conclusions on this. Thank you very much, and we get back in some minutes. Well, we are back with our YCC ambassadors. They have few time to think, but I know they nail it. They have their proposals to live in this better world, please. And well, let's start with Luke. Can you let us know about your proposals, please?
Well, I will say that although the COVID pandemic is still ongoing, there's a global effort to contain and control it. I'll say that there is no better time to promote the importance of science and medicine than now, but the population should be wary of any so-called research coming from those who have other purposes than the greater good of humanity, like politicians. So I'd say that at this moment of massive uncertainty, with data and analysis shifting daily, honest disagreements among academic experts with different training, different scientific backgrounds and perspectives are both unavoidable and desirable, we could say. It's the job of policymakers, academics, and interested members of the public to consider the differing point of views and decide at each moment the best courses of action. I would also like to mention that a minority view, even if it's ultimately mistaken, may beneficially temper excessive enthusiasm or insert needed caveats. This process, which reflects the scientific method and the culture that supports it, must be repeated tomorrow and the next day and the next and so on.
Thank you very much. We go with Nicole. Nicole, can you let us know your proposals, please?
Okay. One way may be to build a special facility where science from all over the world can meet to communicate with each other in case that something happens again. So they can talk about their opinions and possible solutions to the situation, since there will be several points of view that can facilitate the solution. My other proposal is the technological improvement of the elements of medicine, technicians that can help to build tools that can facilitate the work of doctors and make them more efficient.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. Leanne?
I propose that the world needs to fund science more so that solutions, prevention, and early actions can be more easily done and be without problems. We also need to encourage more people to go in STEM programs by creating more opportunities for them and to make it more and easily encourageable, easily detected for people to go and not be just for the smart people that can go into science, because everyone is a scientist. You just need to encourage each other.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Maitane?
Well, so from my point of view, we're living in a society that's in constant growth. It's in constant change. Challenges are on their way in the near future. And I think that the most important thing is to take action. One of the worst things that I've seen during this pandemic is people, instead of trying to make their actions count, trying to make a positive impact in their society, they just pointed at other people who were doing the wrong thing. I don't think it's time to point at anyone. I don't think it's time to think about your country, about your political party, about your opinion. I don't think it's time to think about just yourself. I think it's time to stop being, so individualist and start thinking globally, start thinking about other people, start taking action and start educating other people in order so that they also take action, because your action added to theirs, added to the one of every single person in this world, it's what's going to help and build a better future for all of us. So I absolutely believe that science should stay always objective. As we were talking before, politics should be apart from it. and science should be ruling politics and not the other way around. So my proposal is stop thinking about yourself, about your political party, about this type of thing. Start thinking about the others, and above all, start acting, because the world is changing at this moment. At the moment to build a better future for all of us is now.
Thank you very much, Maitane. Thank you, all of you guys. What I learned today from you, it's that we all are scientists and we should care for others as well. So, well, we have get into the end of this debate. We are very, very, very happy, and I know the audience, it's also amazed on these kids that will represent us, not in the future, they are representing us now. And well, thank you very much. I will give the floor to Bere to close this debate.
Thanks so much, Liz, and thanks so much all of you guys, our ambassadors that were amazing and gave us a statement. I think that one of the conclusions of this debate session is that the role of science is crucial in the present and in the future of any society, no matter where they are coming from. We are in the same world, and we think that the society should be more involved and more prepared about science, the science knowledge, in order to avoid fake news, fake information, and to have this idea of fast response and the most good response possible. So thanks so much for everyone that are also watching this transmission. We invite you to watch us tomorrow, because we will have the 5 debate session regarding also the role of science and medicine with another ambassadors from other countries with a little higher ages. But let's continue inventing a new world. Thanks so much.
Say bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Then go.